Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. I'm Matt. I've got a perspective on things.
Hey, and I'm Ray, and I've got a perspective on things as well. Are we back together right now?
Yeah, we're back together.
Are we friends now?
Again, yes.
Again, we're
again.
real life, man. This is real life. We are on the real show. We're ready to rock, and I'm just so jacked up, man.
Yeah, let's go.
Dude, fun fact of the day, before you get started, you can follow us at twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness. Thank you so much to the Rube Empire for following us, and we love everything that you're doing, guys. Thank you so much for your likes, for your follows, and if you really, 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 truly like us, if you're really about that life, make sure that you hit us with a subscribe. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Hit them with the subscribe. If you hit us with the subscribe, it's a really, it helps us out, helps the show going, and we're really excited about that, man. Everybody that's on TikTok right now, head over to twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness. You're missing the whole show.
What's that? Is that
twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness. Yes, it's twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness. And head over there right now. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be an exciting show today. We got so much to cover. It's like so much stuff happened this week, and we've got to talk about it. So we appreciate it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The strong one, we're at 33,400 followers right now, which is crazy. We got some really, well, my man's got an amazing idea that he's about to drop on the Plausible Foolishness TikTok, which I'm very excited about. I can't wait to see it. He gave me just a taste. Just a taste, and it was so beautiful. I can't wait to see it, which I'm excited about. And, dude, obviously we're here at twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness, so head over there right now. Check out the full show, and it's going to be a lot of fun today. But fun fact to start us out, bro. Funnest fact I have ever seen in my entire life. Did you know that, in fact, goats and pawpaw fruits can test positive for COVID-19?
Well, I mean, it is a pandemic.
Sure.
So, pan meaning everything.
Everything.
Everything has it.
Everything has it. Everything
the chair
is COVID.
I'm sitting in, this camera, this microphone. No, I did not know that goats and pawpaw fruit could get it. That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, it's absolutely absurd, but absolutely true. Reuters reporting. Now, for all the conspiratorial, crazy SOB people that try to dismiss the truth, this isn't an InfoWars story. This is not a Fox News story. This is not a CNN. No audio. They don't hear us. What? Liberty scum. Boom. Can you hear us? Liberty scum, can you hear us? Yay or nay?
Yeah. Can everybody hear us?
But Bobby's responding.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. Not InfoWars. Okay. Not some random Facebook blogger. Not Fox News. Not CNN. Reuters.
Okay.
Reuters. Down the middle as possible as you can get Reuters, okay? Now, no platform's not biased, okay?
Yeah.
But Reuters is pretty darn neutral. They don't care. They're not a big Orange Man bad publication, but they're not an Orange Man good publication, okay? So, Reuters reporting that the president of Tanzania could sense something fishy was in the air. Similar to you, similar to me, similar to millions upon millions of Americans that have been subject to this quarantine for a pandemic. And the president of Tanzania proved his mustard. And guess what he did? He didn't tell the governing body that tests for COVID-19, but he took samples from a goat. And I'm not talking about, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, The Rock, Ric Flair. I'm not talking about those type of goats. I'm talking about an actual goat, okay? He took samples from a goat and a pawpaw, which is not your grandpa. We're talking about a fruit, okay? An actual fruit. And submitted them for COVID-19 testing. And put a actual human's name on there. And wouldn't you find out that those not real humans that happen to be a goat and a pawpaw fruit tested positive for COVID-19.
Do we know where the tests go to?
They went to the governing body of, I think it was like Tanzania or something, blah, 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 okay? But they're literally instructed by the World Health Organization on how to assess this test. Now, one of two things is going on here. Because the fact that a pawpaw fruit can test positive for COVID-19 should raise a flag. Now, a goat, maybe some crazy, possible, that could kind of be dismissed. But a fruit with not the biological makeup of a human being still tests positive for COVID-19. So reality is this: a logical person is going to ask themselves one of two things are going on here. One, the testing method is completely fraudulent. So that means the testing kits used give a false positive for this disease. Because it literally took a fruit and tested it positive for COVID-19. Or the test kits are accurate and the reporters are just reporting that everything's COVID-19. Now, with that being said, the sheep of the world, the sheep of America, will try to shoot you down immediately, say, listen, the experts could never get things wrong.
Mm-hmm. Or never have intentions outside of what they tell you.
Never. They would never have ill intentions. They would never do anything wrong. Here's the reality. These tests are either don't work and give false positives, or we're vastly over-reporting things, which the CDC has already admitted to 3 weeks ago. Remember that report that came out that everything was COVID starting in February? Hence the spike of massive COVID numbers, which got recanted on May 1st. Did we cover that on the show last week?
No, we didn't. I don't think we got a chance to.
Yeah, May 1st. Take a look. CDC dropped the amount of actual COVID cases and admitted how many actual COVID cases there are. The funny thing is those numbers were still mixed in with pneumonia and flu. But it's weird that 30,000 people, 30,000 deaths that were a result of COVID-19 disappeared. So hallelujah, praise the Lord, 30,000 people raised from the dead. Just kidding, I'm being facetious. That just means their designation was changed away from COVID-19. Now, the CDC reports this because at the end of the day, CDC doesn't want to get sued down the road when this whole thing is exposed for a whole overblown hysteria. They got to cover their butt. But it's weird that nobody is reporting that. No one's talking about that. They're still using presumed numbers, which, by the way, kids, presumed does not mean actual. It means you're guessing. Mm-hmm. Now, when you have those type of things happening, and then you have the admission that they're just lumping flu and pneumonia deaths together, and then you have the president of Tanzania basically calling bullcrap on the test and exposing it, well, gee golly, are we awake yet? And here is the icing on the cake. Here is the icing on the cake. You ready for it? There was a video that came out. I sent it to you earlier today. You got a chance to watch it, right?
I did.
It's called Plandemic. Now, I keep in mind, I am a proponent of trust no one, okay? Trust no one. DTA. Don't trust anybody. Old school Steve Austin before there was Austin 316. That was his tag phrase. Don't trust anybody. Okay, that was the deal. And I've taken that my entire life. I don't trust anybody. I verify and then trust, okay? When documentaries come out on YouTube, you have to take them with a grain of salt. You have to see whether the claims that they're making are actually true and if they're backed up by actual empirical evidence. Well, there happened to be a lady that did a documentary, and she got a lot of empirical evidence. It was weird. It was like actual evidence citing the fact that this whole thing is overblown hysteria. And actually citing that the actions we're taking for this virus and any virus period, this is absolutely the absolute worst thing we could possibly do. Isolating ourselves away from each other is the worst thing we can do for our immune system. And once we've lulled our immune system down and we repopulate, it will be even more catastrophic. We're doing the opposite of what's recommended. Now, who's this lady? She's the one that identified HIV in 1983 before everybody else did. Or before they officially announced it in 85. Mm-hmm. And they kept the research quiet, and in the meantime, people were dying from this virus. Now, the funny thing is she's seeing the exact same pattern, and not only just seeing it, but literally having documented proof that that's what they're doing right now, is they're waiting until everybody's infected with a disease that has a 99% survival rate, and they're going to use it to make sure that you have to take vaccines and suspend your rights simultaneously. It is a very interesting thing. Now, if this was a farcical hoax and complete bullcrap, wouldn't you think that YouTube would leave it alone? Because on its own merits, it would fall apart. True or false?
Oh, sure.
Like, nobody believes, you know, those, what is it, the NFL, those NFL videos where they lip sync the NFL players and they're like, Mammy Pammy, Mammy Pammy, and they like mess up stuff.
Bad lip reading.
Bad lip reading. You know why the NFL doesn't strike that down? Because one, it's comical, and two, it's farcical. It's not real. We leave it up because it's funny.
It's parody.
Everybody knows it's parody. If this is farcical and completely made up, why does YouTube feel the need to kill this from their channel? Not once, not twice, but numerous times.
They're disseminating misinformation about the pandemic. So,
but if it's misinformation,
they're just doing their part to keep the accurate information out there.
Oh, so here's the problem: if it's misinformation, it's easily debunked. Yes or no?
You would think.
Okay, so leave that up there so that people can see those debunk videos.
But then one or two people might, listen and, some people might listen and take it as truth.
Oh.
And so them as gatekeepers of all knowledge.
Oh, weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
As the gatekeepers of truth, we have to kick you off the platform. Now, here's the reality of the situation. How many other people have they done that to? Remember Gavin McGinnis? He used to be on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They kicked him off. Gee, I wonder why. They kicked off, Milo Yiannopoulos.
Mm-hmm.
They kicked off Alex Jones. Because Alex Jones is complete farce, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's turning the freaking frogs gay, right?
Yep.
If he's so farcical, don't let him go. It's entertainment for the platform. More eyeballs. But you've got to be the gatekeeper? If he's so full of it, you had to kick him off? Same thing is happening here, which is hilarious.
They still keep all the people who debunk him.
Oh yeah, of course they keep the
debunking.
They keep the debunks up there. But if it's so farcical, why do you feel the need to not only take it down once, twice, but thrice, over and over again? What are you afraid of, YouTube? What are you terrified of? That there are doctors all over the country that are rallying against this?
That's the real deal.
Ah!
That's the real scary part. Because, sure, such and such documentary might be spreading disinformation. I still don't think it's your job to gatekeep that. But,
no.
It's your platform, whatever. But doctors?
Sure.
Real doctors?
Real doctors.
Like doctors who are treating patients
on the front line,
looking at the CDC guidelines that are presented to them, critiquing them and finding them to be ridiculous.
Yeah,
those doctors are kicked off your platform.
Yeah,
because why?
Yeah,
they're on the front lines? They have the most accurate information.
100%.
It's.
Yeah, they
have more accurate information than the CDC does.
Yeah, because they're actually on the front lines battling this every single day. And when you've got two California doctors who the same thing happened to, remember those guys?
Yeah, we talked about them
last week. That got kicked off because they're like, literally, we're doing the absolute opposite of what science tells us how to handle this virus. And you're instructing us to literally walk into more doom. And magically, you're going to be the one that has the solution, Big Pharma. You're going to be the one that has the solution, Mr. Fauci, with some type of, shot that'll fix everything, right? Some vaccination. And the reality of the situation is this: they're scared. They are scared to death because the reality is doctors are starting to speak up. Nurses are starting to speak up. We see TikTok videos of nurses doing stupidity when there's supposed to be an outflow of COVID-19 cases. We have more ventilators in our country than are being used right now. More empty ventilators exist than people actually using them in our country. Mm-hmm. And actually in the video it says the ventilator is one of the worst things you can do for this thing, because you're literally pumping back the exact same virus that you're trying to expel. So it's interesting to me that if this was so farcical, if it was so made up, if it was such bullocks, why not just leave it out there? They literally have every single time. They have reptilian people videos out there, okay? There are reptilian people videos on YouTube right now. There are UFO videos on YouTube right now. Complete farce. And you've left that there that have equal amounts of views. But for this one, because there's dissenting voices that are coming from a scientific perspective with actual credibility and actual science debunking the narrative, you've got to take it off. If it's on the same level as the reptilian people and aliens on YouTube, leave it up. But we can't do that.
No.
Because
it's
trust
not
the government.
State approved.
That's not state approved. Guys, you wanted socialism forever. You're getting Orwellian socialism. You are getting exactly what you wanted. Now here's the danger, and this is why I'm trying to talk to Orange Man. I made a video about this on TikTok. You know, at the end of the day, here's the reality, okay? Donald, I get it. You fell for the hysteria of an overblown disease that is completely overblown, and we all know it now. We have our governor saying it. We talked about it last week with Ron DeSantis. We understand this, okay? We understand that you fell for it, okay? We understand it's an election year. Yes, your opponent's Joe Biden, but better to play it safe than sorry. But at this point, when you have this many people calling out Fauci for his bullcrap, when you have this many people exposing the fact that what we're doing is absolutely the worst thing possible, when you see the economy tipping down towards a bad place, I'm sorry, Orange Man wrong in this case. Not Orange Man bad. 99% of his policies I like. Okay? But here's the thing. As a conservative, I don't toe party lines. I toe truth. And at this point, I understand what you did at the beginning. Own it. No big deal. I'm partly okay with it. If it was really a really big deal, probably the safest thing we could have done. Mm-hmm. But now we have data and stats that are not from, state-controlled China. We have actual stats of actual Americans. We have the CDC reporting the fact that they're labeling everything COVID. We have the Tanzanian president exposing that testing kits are absolutely horrible. The reality now is it's time to open up the show. We're lagging, man. Twitch is shutting us down, man.
We're not dropping frames.
We're not dropping frames, baby.
So.
Listen, it might be that state-sponsored internet. They might be slowing it down so you don't hear the truth at twitch.tv/plausible foolishness.
Possible.
Go ahead.
Now, there is something to be said, though, that Trump did not issue a federal lockdown.
No, he didn't.
So he left it up to the states. It's the states that really need to get on the ball. And, California is going to California.
And there's already 3 counties that have basically told the governor to piss off. Did you see that?
That's awesome.
Amen.
God bless America.
God bless them. There's some smart people in California. Because here's the thing, too, is this. I'm not laying this on the feet of Orange Man, but it is time. Because Orange Man didn't develop this disease, okay? Orange Man was not a part of the activities of Wuhan, China. We talked about this ad nauseum. Hong Kong needed to disappear, and impeachment didn't work, so they needed something against Orange Man because he made the Chinese finally do actual trade deals. Now, here's the reality of the situation, okay? Absolute honesty in the reality, okay? I'm sorry. Do we have a notification? They're trying to shut us down on Twitch.tv.
No, I'm just trying to see if... Because there's Baba Yaga's logging, too.
Oh, man. We're lagging big time, man. It's because we said China, and we said hysterical, and we said...
Yeah.
Because we're actually exposing the truth. Now, here's the thing. Can you guys still get the audio, though? That's the question. Can you get the audio? Thumbs up. But long story short is this. This is... it's documented now. So now that we know this stuff, and Trump did the constitutional thing by shutting down the border, which is his power by the federal government. Okay? Audio is good. Where's the video? Gotcha. So we can't make sudden movements. Can't make sudden movements, bro. So he did the constitutional thing and let the governors do things. We exposed this last week when Ron DeSantis basically said, yeah, this is overblown hysteria, but I'm still holding the lockdown down, okay? That's inexcusable to me. Because if you have empirical data in front of you and you're still acting out of fear instead of facts, then I've got a problem with you. Uncle Ron, I'm not excited about this. I will consider this when I go to the ballot box. Now, I'm not going to vote for a Democrat. And fortunately for Donald Trump, a couple things are working in his favor. One, his approval rating came out last week. It went higher than it's ever been, again. Mm-hmm. Okay. The second thing, too, that's interesting is he's going up against Joe Biden. Smoking Joe Biden. Okay. Which, let's get real with ourselves. Let's be honest. Are you going to take my picture quality away? Are you going to make me look more pixelated? Is that what you're trying to do? Are you trying to make me look fat?
No.
Too late. Too late, right? So, at the end of the day...
Let's see if this helps, though.
Okay, let's see if it helps. If you're watching on twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness, it's twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness. Check us out. He's got to go up against Joe Biden. So, I'm not going to say it's going to be a layup, but let's get real with ourselves. Biden's got some problems. We talked about that before. Me Too is the most important thing possible until Joe Biden touches somebody, okay? We've been through this world. We know that there's nothing but liberal logic running around and running amok. But now, Orange Man, it's time to be emboldened by the fact that you do have a positive deal and get the economy back. Open this bad boy up, and let's do what we normally do, which is interact with other human beings like we do for flu and pneumonia. And guess what? The people that are less susceptible will probably still die. Because here's the thing. Spoiler alert. People die. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did.
How dare you?
People die. And I'm not minimizing death. I'm giving you a perspective on reality, okay?
Yeah.
People die. You cannot prevent death. Sorry. You can delay it.
You can. Maybe.
Maybe. But
Depends on your view of the world and the...
Well, yeah. Well, but that's what's funny about this whole situation with liberals. Liberals have forgotten that people actually die. The same party that murders 2,000 babies a day has forgotten that people die. Okay? So, it's interesting to me that when faced with flu and pneumonia, which killed 97,000 people last year, and they said nothing, and the year before, over 120,000, 80,000 of them being flu, another 40,000 being the pneumonia, okay? You said nothing. But now it's an election year. Hong Kong needed to disappear. And Orange Man bad, so let's use this, man. It's crazy. People die. Am I a board-certified coroner? No, I am not a board-certified coroner, but I can make that assessment, Baba Yaga. People actually die. Stay away from my no-no square. Dusty called for it.
You did?
I mean, it's right there, Dusty.
There you go.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square.
I missed that, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, that's been a while.
We can't do that when I'm like doing the Skype calls and stuff like that, bro. But fortunately, your leaders of the Rube Empire, we have come together once again. We have bucked the order. I'm underground, and there are police looking for me right now in the great state of Florida.
We dug a tunnel from his house.
We dug a tunnel. Because walls don't work. We dug a tunnel. And did it every time.
It should be played every time
Biden steps on stage. I like it. Dusty! I like it a lot, man. So that's good, man.
This is the way.
This is the way. But yeah, there's so much fishy things going on in the world. And at this point, if you're shilling for the mainstream media and really trying to defend the experts, right? The hashtag I keep seeing is, believe the experts, okay?
Believe the experts.
Believe the experts, because we need a hashtag for that.
This is...
Trust the experts.
Yes. You know, we all need to consult the new priesthood.
Yes.
To tell us how to live our lives.
Draped in their mighty white lab coats.
Yes.
As they take goat and fruit DNA and tell us that it's COVID-19.
Holding their clipboards that we're not allowed to look at.
Nope.
This is the giant Bible chained to the podium.
Yes.
Written in a language that the masses don't speak.
Yes.
You know, so that they can't, so that they can't know what the Bible actually says.
Of course.
This is the YouTube getting rid of these doctors is the persecution that Gutenberg went through when he printed the Bible in English.
Yep.
Or was it German? It was German.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
Listen,
my bad.
Fact check him. Those crazy Christians.
English didn't come later.
It's all good, dude.
I corrected myself.
It's all good, dude. It's all good, man.
No, it's not.
Come on, hell no, to the no, hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no.
That's one of my favorite videos on YouTube. Hell no. But no, I mean, honestly, like at the end of the day, this is the new priesthood, right? This is the new priesthood, and if you dissent from that priesthood, they'll come after you like the Catholics did the Protestants. History repeats itself over and over again, guys. There's nothing new under the sun. The Bible literally says that. And, you know, at the time, the Catholics got pissed because people started reading the Bible and realizing, oh, I'm not supposed to worship Mary? That's weird. I don't baptize my baby? That's weird. Wait a minute. I don't confess my sins to the priest and he absolves my sin?
Oh, we're a new priesthood.
What?
That's
And there's only one mediator? That's Jesus Christ?
That's weird.
Wait a minute. And the sacraments don't save me? My works don't save me? Christ already paid for all that? That's so weird.
What?
The same thing's happening now. The reality is this. People are looking around and saying, like, wait a minute, time out on the field. Normally with viruses, it makes sense to be around more people so that we get a, group immunity here, that we build up antibodies. You're telling us to, worship Mary and stay at home. That's kind of weird. Wait a minute. This is crazy. I don't understand what's happening here. You told us that actual deaths have an actual cause. So when somebody gets bit by a shark and you label it COVID-19, I start to question it. When a dude dies in a car accident, I start to question it. When the old 80-year-old man with COPD that was going to die anyways from COPD, which has similar symptoms to COVID-19, and now you've labeled that COVID-19, even though you never tested him once, now I'm going to start questioning whether I should, confess my sins to the priest or do the 7 sacraments that aren't found in the Word. So, call it crazy, but it is what it is. Sorry, man. But it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
That's a very amazing analogy.
Sure. But there's a lot of other questions that we can have too.
Sure.
Like one that's been in my mind as soon as they announced it was that
Deep State COPD is COVID. Deep State, I love you, man. I hate you and love you at the same time.
That's great. So, we've been hearing about chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine.
Yep.
And we've seen studies come out of France telling us that this is going to help us.
Time out. But Trump killed a guy because he took the fish cleaner and,
No.
Oh, but,
nonsense.
But no, his wife and him took it and one of them died.
No.
And it was Trump's fault.
No.
Orange man bad.
No.
Wait, what
all
actually
of
happened?
That is bogus.
What actually happened?
Well, he said that these look promising, and that was it.
Oh.
And then some woman...
Democratic donor, by the way.
Went to the news telling her that her husband died drinking this pool cleaner, and then, there's a lot of...
Because he listened to Trump.
Because he listened to Trump, but there's a lot more behind the scenes between their relationship. It's kind of a big mess. But completely not true. And if he did, sorry, you're an idiot who did not understand that when a person says that these look promising, we're looking into this.
Wait, time out on the field. Did she pull a Carol Baskin? Did she pull a Carol Baskin?
She might have.
Did she killed her husband?
She might have.
Weird. And she's a Democrat.
There's some things that might lead you to believe.
Wow.
That's at least worth looking into.
Yeah. I think she needed an excuse for... True. Exactly, man. Sacrifice. That's Democrats like to do that with humans. But yeah, going back to what you said, chloroquine.
So yeah, there's never been anything really.
We're about to talk about that.
Don't worry, Baba Yaga. You're getting ahead of us.
Baba Yaga, that's the next segment. Quit jumping ahead, bro.
Which I appreciate. I mean, the Rube Empire is on top of it.
Listen, Rube, we like it.
But there's been no studies cited saying that no, this is not good. This isn't work. We've only seen studies they're out of France.
Yep.
But France is still the West, so
but
it's still not like it's coming out of Cuba. Although Cuba's healthcare system is amazing,
so much better.
Yeah,
so much better.
Anyway, but
to your point, France was actually the ones that identified HIV 2 years before America recognized it. But
Well, there you go.
Truth.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
But sorry, I had the cue cards out of order. Nice.
Come on, man.
So we've seen studies that say that are showing really positive results. And then we've got Dr. Fauci out there saying no, these are anecdotal, blah 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 blah.
Well,
and
of course.
so we're not pushing it. If you start talking about it, YouTube,
Bye.
bye. But then all of a sudden, remdesivir, and I'm like, who owns remdesivir?
Who do people have a stake in that?
Yeah, there's a company called Gilead.
Gilead,
And
gotcha.
they make remdesivir.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Who
Wait,
owns hydroxychloroquine?
I don't know who.
No,
owns
it's a super old
Oh,
malaria treatment, so it's pretty generic now and super cheap to
Oh.
acquire.
huh.
Remdesivir got fast-tracked through the FDA and is not generic.
That's weird. Does somebody have a stake in that by any chance?
Possibly. I tried to do some research. I didn't find much. I'm no intense researcher, and I don't think anybody's looking into this.
No, they're not.
So, but one interesting thing is that the CEO of Gilead is also on the board of directors of Roche, Roche Ag in Shanghai.
Okay.
Now, Roche has many different factions, but he's
Yes.
specifically the Shanghai on the board of directors. Shanghai.
That's
And
in China.
That is in China.
China.
That is in China.
China.
That doesn't mean anything. It means something, but that's not conclusive evidence of anything.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I can't find any other ties
Yep.
to these people. I spent about, half an hour
Yeah.
on it, so it's not like I was spent days,
Yeah.
But it is a very interesting thought that has occurred
is.
to me, and I would like somebody to run with that thought and see if there's anything. There
Could
might
be
not be. There might not be. It
Yeah.
might just be another treatment that works. But I kind of don't believe that anymore. I don't believe anything that's going on
No.
with this virus.
No, I don't. Not at all. At all.
Like, here's another story. Story mentioned by Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
Medical researcher on the verge of making very significant coronavirus discoveries found shot to death.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, a University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine researcher on the verge of making...
Wait. Only gangbangers get shot like that.
Well,
Gangbangers, right?
no.
Oh. That's weird.
Yeah, people get shot all the time.
So a medical researcher.
Yeah, University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine researcher on the verge of making very significant findings, that's a quote, about the coronavirus was found shot to death over the weekend. NBC News reported.
Oh, NBC?
They reported this.
Oh.
Bing Liu, a 37-year-old assistant professor, was shot around noon Saturday inside his Ross Township home, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reported, adding that an autopsy indicated he was shot multiple times, including in the head, neck, and torso. Ross police believe Liu was shot by another man, Hao Gu, 46, of Pittsburgh, who subsequently entered his car parked about 100 yards away and killed himself, the paper said.
Murder-suicide?
A murder-suicide.
A killery? 101?
Yeah.
What?
Investigators told NBC News that Gu died of a self-inflicted gunshot.
That's how it always goes, man.
Police said the apparent murder-suicide wasn't connected to Liu's research.
No.
WTAE-TV reported, adding that Gu was an engineer and that the men knew each other on a personal level. The station also said smartphone data shows frequent communication between the two, but that the communication is in Chinese, as both men were Chinese nationals.
What?
A former medical examiner ruling on the case and manner of Gu's death is pending, the Post-Gazette reported. Authorities declined to disclose a possible motive for the homicide. But told the paper nothing was stolen from his townhouse, there was no forced entry, and no other suspect is at large. Liu had the front and rear patio doors open at the time he was killed because the weather was nice, police added to the paper. WTAE said Liu's wife found his body in the couple's bedroom with the tablet and smartphone. The Post-Gazette said his wife was not home at the time of the shooting, and that neighbors said the couple were mostly quiet and kept to themselves. Yvette Bahar, head of the Computational and System Biology Department in Pitt's School of Medicine, told the paper the couple had no children, that Liu was an only child, and that both of his parents lived in China. He was a very talented individual, extremely intelligent and hardworking, Bahar said of Liu, the Post-Gazette reported. Let's see.
So basically, your standard Chinese national smart guy working to fix
he had
corona.
He'd just begun research on the novel coronavirus. He was just starting to obtain interesting results, she told the paper. He was sharing with us, trying to understand the mechanism of infection, so we will hopefully continue what he was doing. The School of Medicine statement said Liu was on the verge of making very significant findings toward understanding the cellular mechanisms that underlie SARS-CoV-2 infection and the cellular basis of the following complications. We will make an effort to complete what he started in an effort to pay homage to his scientific excellence, the Post-Gazette reported.
This sounds pretty standard to me.
Maybe they just got in an argument.
Oh.
You know? That is a possibility.
Sure.
That is a possibility.
Sure. Now, if you're a Chinese national and you just killed somebody that basically stuck to themselves, why wouldn't you just flee the country back to China? Because China will never extradite their own.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Surely he could have made it out of the country before
anybody discovered it or tagged him to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting. You know, it's weird. It's like all of these like connected funny murders always end in murder-suicide. Why is that? By a self-inflicted gun wound. Interesting. So interesting. But yeah, and he was trying to figure out what the mechanism of delivery was for COVID-19.
Yeah, how the mechanism by which it infects us.
Oh, so how it actually infects us. Because if you figure that out, that might... Interesting. Deep State. The official report is correct. No reason to believe otherwise. Oh my gosh. This is fun, man.
Yeah.
This is fun. And the problem is this. And here's the deal, kids. This is why we're on twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness. Twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness. Because the overlords at Twitch have not, tried to get rid of information or try to get rid of truth or try to get rid of interesting coincidences, that will be labeled conspiracy theory, which is, translation for I'm too lazy to actually do my own research for myself and believe everything the government tells you. Is very interesting to me, and that's why we don't do YouTube anymore, because if we talked about this, we would be shut down immediately, true or false. It would be shut down, don't talk about this, whatever.
Yeah,
that's why we're on
if we had a
TV.
significant enough following, if enough people watched us.
It's true. But we do, man. In here. We're the fastest growing political show on twitch.tv/plausible. Fastest growing.
In here.
What
we'd like is for you to help us make it in reality.
You gotta start somewhere. Johnny. All right, but when I went to an NXT show and I was watching Johnny Gargano wrestle, and I think it was Johnny Gargano's aunt that we were sitting next to, and she kept going, "You can do it, Johnny. You can do it, Johnny." And she was so into it. I'm like, yes. Thank you, God. And the whole time I'm like, "You can do it, Johnny." Sorry, so.
That's awesome.
But anyways. Yeah, I mean, goats get COVID-19. Pawpaw gets COVID-19. When researchers start to figure out how this thing is actually being delivered, they get killed by people that do murder-suicides. I mean, this is all normal stuff. I mean, it is normal to label a flu and pneumonia death COVID-19. It is normal if you got COPD at 80 to label it COVID-19 magically, because we all know that 80-plus-year-old people never die, right? They never die.
It's normal for people for hospitals to get $13,000 from Medicaid when they take in a COVID-19 patient.
100%.
It's normal for them to get $39,000 when they put them on a ventilator.
It's normal.
That's normal.
Normal stuff.
Those are normal things.
I mean, we are being overrun. Our hospitals are being overrun. We wanted to flatten the curve so our hospitals wouldn't be overrun, and they're so overrun that nurses do TikTok videos.
No.
Oh,
we flatten the curve was about making sure that people don't die.
Oh, they switched it. They switched it.
Yeah. Well, I like to call it moving goalposts.
Oh, moving the goalposts.
You know, we had a goal, and we achieved that goal, and now let's make it a better goal. Let's do better. We can go even further. Right? That's a positive thing.
I'm reminded of a scene in Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. I have changed the deal and pray that I don't change it anymore. This deal's getting worse and worse. Did you see that video I made?
He said that to a black man.
He said it to a black man too.
Are you racist?
Darth Vader's voice was black, so.
No. I'm saying them. Out there who have a problem with changing goalposts.
I know.
Or who don't have a problem with changing goalposts.
Yeah.
What are you, racist?
What are you, racist? Racist, misogynistic, xenophobic, homophobic. Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. The flattened curve was to make sure our hospitals aren't overrun. Our hospitals aren't overrun; they're understaffed to the point where they're laying off people. But now we move the goalpost to. I've heard people say we need to wait until the vaccine comes out before we open things up, which will happen in 18 months.
I can't wait to.
Give me a flippin' break, man.
Can't wait to get that vaccine.
No, dude.
I was watching Tim Pool. There's going to be food shortages.
Yeah.
Very shortly.
Yeah.
If not already. Already, in some cities, Wendy's has stopped selling burgers because they can't get fresh beef. Already. And so that makes me ask questions again.
Yeah.
So we it's not ridiculous. Well, okay, so we have definitely seen in the past few months and years
Yep.
a real strong push towards veganism, right?
Well, even the head of the World Health Organization, when this first started, advocated that you don't.
That is a great point. Meat makes you more susceptible to dying from COVID-19.
We need the clip of the Joker from the new movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So meat is a problem.
Meat's
so
the
we've
problem.
already I forgot about that. That's a great point.
Oh yeah.
It's already a problem.
already
We're
a problem.
experiencing meat shortages.
Yeah, weird.
Tyson, over 56% of a Tyson processing plant is infected with COVID-19.
Oh really? Well, I guess that's true because goats and
Goats can have it.
and fruits can have it. So
Yeah.
everything's COVID.
Yep, everything is COVID. So so that's shut down. So
Yep.
we're seeing meat shortages. Wendy's can't, doesn't want to sell burgers because they can't get fresh beef.
Yep.
And then they're all about fresh beef. And then we got the big money being invested into like the Impossible Burger and all that stuff.
Yep.
At the same time that there's this underground swelling of people who are finding that meat is actually the thing that we need the most of.
Weird.
That meat is actually one of the healthiest things we can eat.
What?
And it's really all the processed garbage, like Impossible fake meat. And whatever, processed cheese food, Entenmann's, donuts, which are delicious.
Yeah.
But all that stuff, sugar, that's really bad for us.
100%.
Are they trying to? I mean,
Well,
is this going to be? I mean,
listen. They've already killed the testosterone levels of men in America since 1950. Right now, an American man has like a third of the testosterone a man in the 50s has, and that's by design. But we won't talk about that because that's a conspiracy theory. But which is funny because it's not. It's actually a provable study that we have a third of the testosterone our grandparents had.
The why is the conspiracy theory.
The why, yeah.
But
Exactly.
I'm afraid that they're going to use this shortage
Of course.
as an opportunity to Soylent Green shoved down our throats.
Soylent Green is people. Sorry, that is such a. Have you seen that movie?
No, but I'm.
It's horrible, and it's like gross, but it has Charleston Heston in it, and that last line is amazing. But yeah, sorry.
People. Soylent Green is people. Soylent Green is people.
That's funny. Oh, sorry, that's a good point. Baba Yaga. The testosterone's been divided between the 63 genders, so that's why.
Women can have testosterone now.
Yep.
Women can have testosterone.
Yeah, and to the point here on TikTok, Twitch.tv/, or at TikTok right now. I mean, lower testosterone means lower babies, that would be less fertility, in men and sexual desire, because we've
Population
usurped
control.
population control. Because that's weird. Wasn't Bill Gates an advocate for population control? And isn't he pushing a
he did
vaccine
say
for this
that.
thing?
Yeah, he did say both of those
That's
things.
interesting. That's so weird. I mean, there's no way that really rich and powerful liberals would ever become eugenicists. Oh, wait. There's tons of them in history. But that's another story for another time. Go back to sleep. It is what it is. To serve humans. That's my favorite Twilight Zone. To serve man. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that one?
No,
It
but I
is-
am aware of it as well.
It
I'm
is,
aware of a lot of pop culture references without having
man.
actually seen what they're...
So good. So good. Because it's like, all wars ended. We're all put in a bubble. We're fed. We're taken care of. And at the very end, like, they're like, oh, here's our proclamation of peace. And then, like, a girl translates it, and it's a human cookbook. To serve man. So good, man. But yeah, I mean, that's the deal, man. It's deep state. You'll find soy-based diet to be more enjoyable. Meat leads to toxic masculinity. Win-win.
Yep.
Deep state. Man, I love and hate you at the same time.
Yeah.
Is there a word for that? To love and hate something at the same time? What would that be?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think. What would a love and hate person be at the same time? I can't think of one right now. If you think of one, let us know in the comments below. Give us a noun for love and simultaneous love and simultaneous hate. I would love to hear from it, man. But it's all good. But yeah, anyways, tolerance. True, touche. I have a lot of tolerance for the deep state. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, we've talked about family. Deep state's family.
Yeah.
That's a good one, Dusty. That's a good one. No, I think at the end of the day, like, when we're looking at this objectively, when we're looking at the situation that we're in objectively, we've talked about this ad nauseum. The amount of tyranny that's happening is not an accident. It's by design, okay? And I get it. For everybody out there that's like, this is all on Trump. Okay, time out on the field. Let's have some perspective. Donald Trump shut down the borders to try to protect us. He gave all the power to the governors to do as they will. Now, the problem with our governors is they're a bunch of wussies, and substitute the W with the P. Primarily, one of our governors, Ron DeSantis, who will kowtow in the face of the Twitter mob and the media that want us to lock everything down for 5 years before we ever come out. I saw a Paul Joseph Watson video the other day of people in Britain advocating for 2 years of this.
Food shortages, people. Already. In 2 years we're going to do this?
Yeah.
This is insane.
Because at the end of the day, this is what they want. And the magic thing is, every time somebody gets close to exposing all this, they magically die. Or they get kicked off YouTube. Or in the face of empirical evidence, which happened on Twitch, which was hilarious, TikTok, when I made the video, in spite of indisputable evidence, the shepherds, good quote, the shepherds of the mainstream, the shepherds of our own destruction, the wolves in sheep clothing, who mindlessly follow this drivel and mindlessly follow what are told. These are the same people that think Orange Man bad because the media told them. These are the same people that think Obama was the Messiah in the wake of overwhelming evidence to the contrary. And they're trying to defend him. I call them the Corona Bros, right? It is the Corona Bros. And it's all the things that have been talked about in numerous movies by numerous people, that this is how they're going to try to shut down society. And they're succeeding because you have given into the fear. And not just the fear of, quote-unquote, the pandemic, even though it's vastly overblown, and anybody at this point that believes it is, no offense, very laughable and fearful. But the fear of being persecuted by the government. The fear of being persecuted by your friends and family for calling this what it is. The fear for not fitting in at work. The fear for not fitting in society. Because the reality is this, like, I'm wired differently. I love pissing people off. That's 99% of my shtick on on TikTok, is pissing people off with a big smile on my face. Not because I'm trying to piss people off, but at the end of the day, the reality is this. I'm not afraid to expose lies, and I'm not afraid to tell truth. I'm not afraid to tell you that it's absurd that the same governors that are advocating for sanctuary cities are the same ones that are advocating for citizens to be told on when they break quarantine. Think about that. Liberal logic. You are more concerned with protecting non-citizens than citizens. You're more concerned about hiding people who broke into our country versus protecting the rights of the people that live in your cities. This is literally patent liberal logic. This has to do with the, I forget what the kid's name is, the Ahmed. Okay. Absolutely tragic story out of Georgia. Terrifyingly sad story. Kids running down the street, dad and a son come out of the truck and shoot the kid in broad freaking daylight.
Ahmad Arbery.
Okay? Now, this is an absolutely sad situation. This should have never happened. But the media has hyped this case a lot. One, because it is exactly what their narrative calls for. It is white people killing black people, which is evil and sinful and wrong.
100%.
Period. These guys should be prosecuted. They should go to jail. I am completely advocating that, okay? However, let's not take a story of murderous people and paint everybody in America as racist. Because unfortunately, the facts don't support that narrative. The narrative the media wants to pump out to you is everyone's going to die from corona, 2 million people are going to die. That's patently false. The next one is there's killer hornet bees or wasps that are going to come kill you.
Murder hornets.
Murder hornets. That didn't come true, okay? They finally released the FBI files that they acknowledge that there are such things as UFOs. That doesn't mean aliens, kids.
Yeah.
All right? The narrative is that every white person in America is a racist and wants to kill black people. That is not the case. I've been over here 106 times. He has not murdered me. In fact, statistically, you know who the person that was most likely to kill me as a black man? My mom. Because since 1976, 51% of black babies are aborted. Let me repeat that really slow. I hate to say this, but my boy Ahmad, what was his name again?
Ahmad Arbery.
Absolutely tragic, should not have died at all.
Definitely not.
But statistically, what happened to him is rare. It was more likely that he was going to be aborted by his mother. Then, if he survives that phase, if the eugenicists don't get their way and Planned Parenthood doesn't get your hands on your kid, then, you know who's most likely to kill Ahmad? Another black guy. That's statistically what typically happens. Now, do we go on and say that black people are racist towards black people? No, that's patently absurd, right? But we've taken this one instance that happens rare and is horrible and is terrible and should have never happened whatsoever, and now we're going to use this with the media to paint everybody a racist.
Yeah. Well, see, and here's the other thing is that somehow, because of the nature of the killing, it's more egregious than the killings that happen in other different situations. You know, so now all of a sudden our lives are not equivalent; they're not equal.
Yep.
Their value is not equal because such was killed by this type of person, and this one, which is more important and more egregious and more evil, because he was killed by this type of person.
Yes, 100%.
Basically, both lives are lost.
Yes.
They're both tragedies.
Yes.
That's all we should be focused on.
Yes. 100%.
What can we do to stop killings?
Yeah.
In general. You know, and we can look at the specifics of the case on an individual basis.
Yes. Because they're all
we should
individually
look
different.
we should look at everything on an individual basis.
100%.
Instead of painting with broad strokes, like you were saying, and assigning. You know, it's like the idea of the hate crime is nonsense.
Yep.
You know, if it doesn't matter the motive, murders are hate crimes.
They are.
All of them.
All of them, regardless of color. B3NA N1 Civ. Make sure you give us a follow, man. That'll make sure that it'll lock in. It'll give them notifications, right? if he's a follower.
Yeah, you should
Hit follow
receive.
right now. Do it right now. See
You
what
have to
happens.
also go into your profile and see what your notification settings are in general.
Yes.
They may be turned off so you don't get the indicator.
B3N1S. If you really like us, hit us with that follow so you get those notifications in the future. And if you really like us, give us a subscribe, especially if you have an Amazon Prime account. It's free to you, actually. It's free to throw us a little bit of a bone, man, so it's all good. But yeah, I mean, it's abortion, hate crime for babies, overpopulation, 100%. They'll justify what they want to justify, and they'll highlight what they want to highlight. And that's the funny thing to me in this whole scenario is this. Like, literally, like, it's unbelievable to me. So at the end of the day, and again, I am not diminishing this death. It's absolutely sad and it's tragic. But the problem is this: he was most likely going to be killed by his mom before he was born, and the next person that was going to kill him would have been another black man. This is a rare case, and yes, this is a hate crime, but not because of race, because of sin. Sin is what makes this a hate crime, because any murder is hateful. Any murder is hateful. Whether it's a baby, whether it's a kid, whether it's an adult, whether they're white man, black man, brown man, purple man, or orange man, it's all wrong. Because we live in a fallen, sinful place. But don't take that one case and try to paint every single white person as a person that's trying to kill you. Even though Dusty, in his own admission, just said he tried to kill me when he first met me. No, I'm just kidding. It's literally in the page. But that's what we're trying to get at, and that's the reality of the situation. But we're focused on this, which is crazy. And we're focused on murder hornets. We're focused on this situation, this shooting, which is absolutely tragic. We have the dollar store shooting that was black on black. Thank you, Bobby Yaga, for that little hat tip.
Yep.
That we don't talk about that.
Over a mask.
Over a mask.
So really more
statistically accurate.
Well, really it was a security guard who was telling the guy to wear his mask. He didn't want to, and so he shot the security guard in the head. And it's like, this was a situation caused by this pandemic scare that that we don't need to be in, because it's not really that.
It's not real. What? Did I say that out loud?
Deadly.
What? Did I say that out loud? 99% survival rating? What? Anyways, but yeah, man, here's the thing. Long story short is this. I tell you this, and I'm going to say this from the bottom of my freaking heart. Do not trust me. Do not trust Matt. Do not trust Orange Man. Do not trust anybody out there. I don't want you to trust anybody. I want you to research for yourself to find if these claims be true. Actually research how the CDC registers a COVID-19 death. It's astounding. Actually look up the president of Tanzania in Reuters literally pulling a fast one on the testing to prove that it's fraudulent. Literally go and find the pandemic video. Somebody's going to post it somewhere.
Well,
on
it's
YouTube.
you can find it on their website, plandemicmovie.com.
Pandemic movie, okay? Like, long story short, trust no one. Be skeptical, okay? I trust and verify even with my wife to this day. Not that I don't trust her. She's a beautiful, sexy, amazing woman, okay? But at the end of the day, she does the same crap to me, okay? When I say, hey, yeah, baby, I did clean that up, she's, of course, going to go to the room to make sure I cleaned it up, okay? Mm-hmm. She's going to verify, not because she doesn't love me, but just to see if those claims be true. Do the exact same freaking thing. But don't trust the government. I am so tired of people out on the planet right now that mindlessly trust the media after so many times they've gotten it wrong. Kids, they predicted that Hillary would be your president. She's not. Kids, they told you that the Russian collusion delusion was real. It was a fabrication. It was a work of fiction. And some of you still believe it to this day. You still believe that Brett Kavanaugh raped some chicks when he was 18. That's patently false. You still believe that something screwy happened in the Ukraine call when you have the frickin' transcript in front of you. You still believe that everyone's dying from COVID, even though they told you 2 million people would die, and worldwide it's 260,000. Worldwide of a population of 7 billion. And that's if they're actually putting the numbers correctly, which they're not. How many times does the mainstream media have to get it wrong for you to honestly look at them? Same thing with governments. And I'm saying that about Orange Man. When Orange Man says he's going to do something, you listen. But here's the thing about Orange Man. He does do it. Scarily sometimes. Okay? When your politicians say every 4 years when they swoop into the black community, oh, we're going to really help you out, keep voting for us even though we're screwing you over. wake up, walk away, and Brexit. When Trump says, hey, you have literally nothing to lose by voting for me, other than the fact that he just lowered unemployment for blacks, Hispanics, and women. He did what he said he was going to do. And the unemployment numbers are going to look crappy tomorrow. I think they come out tomorrow, okay? It is what it is. But guess what? It's because we listened to the experts who gave us a hysterically overblown number. We shut down everything. The governors fell for it. And that's the position we're in. Like it or love it. But now that we have the numbers, can we please accept the fact that this is overblown? Please. Yes. I won't say it's a hoax. But what I will say is this is the biggest overblown hysteria of all time. I think the Washington Post wrote an article about it. It was one of the best articles I've ever said. And the writer literally said the same thing. He's like, listen, can we just accept it now? Can we accept the fact that we... Listen, we believed that the world was falling, and we fell for it. We all fell for it. We went against our lesser nature. We did the absolute opposite of what we normally do with any virus, flu, pneumonia, and we are paying for it now. Economically, and we're paying for it from our right standpoint. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is, man. Sorry, man.
Well, you're not wrong. It's frustrating, and it's hard. It's hard living in constant skepticism.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough. Eventually you have to pick a side.
Yeah.
I like to side with liberty.
Yep.
But I also like to take solace in that there is someone who is trustworthy.
Amen.
And that someone is Christ the Lord.
Amen. Amen.
And so, when you look around you at the world and you think, who can I trust? Start looking around at the world and start looking up and realize that the God who created this world,
yep,
who stands in judgment over it, is trustworthy.
100%. Amen, brother. Amen. That's a good note to finish on, man. Guys, thank you so much for watching Plausible Foolishness. Thank you so much for coming on, for riding with us on the show today. We appreciate everybody that follows us. Hey, we have broken the quarantine. We have broken the mental conditioning. We're back. We are not social distancing. And guess what? Anybody died from COVID yet?
No.
That's weird. Me either. But, we're at the beach. I went to the beach over the weekend. I know that you hate the beach, but I went. It was glorious.
Yeah. Well, according to that movie, there's a lot of healing microbes
there is.
in the beach.
It's weird.
In the salt water.
My girls are, healthy. It's so weird. And I've been breaking quarantine every single day. Getting these gains! But, Sorry.
I wish my gym would open.
I'm sorry. Open gyms, open. But long story short is this, man. I believe in one thing, and you already hit it. I believe in Jesus Christ, period. Jesus is the way, the truth. Let me repeat that. The way, the truth. Let me repeat that one more time if you missed it. The way, the truth, and the life. And no one gets to the Father except through him. Guys, put your faith and trust in that. Don't believe anything that we're saying on this podcast. Research it for yourself. Don't believe anything the media is telling you. Research it yourself. Don't believe anything that government officials tell you. Even the Orange Man. Make sure that you research it for yourself, guys. Because at the end of the day, you can't just blindly trust man. To be a man is to err. If God be true, all men are liars, period. So understand that. So make sure that you verify that, guys, for yourselves. It's been an amazing show, and it's episode 106. We're back. We're back in black, man. Reunited, and it feels so good. Any reunion song you want to put out there, we're back. And guess what? We will continue to be back. And if you missed this show, you can always check it out at twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness. My man will be uploading it on the evil YouTube. They'll probably take it down because we gave positive kudos to Plandemic. If you have not seen it, go to the Plandemic website. It is an amazing movie. I'm not going to advocate that everything in there is patently true, but I'm also it's going to raise some eyebrows for the things that have been claimed that they absolutely have exposed as false.
Especially one Dr. Fauci.
One Dr. Fauci.
Which is why we called this a Faucian Bargain.
The Faucian Bargain.
I'm very
skeptical?
No, I'm gonna be honest. I'm very proud of that title. I thought it was pretty good.
Phenomenal.
Anyway, also, if you want to keep this discussion going,
Discord
bros, Here's the link. Let's join. Let's keep talking. Let's keep spreading information to each other.
Amen.
And,
even if they call it misinformation.
We don't care what they call it.
I don't give a rat's butt.
Nope.
I feel you, man.
Yep.
Guys, I love you. God bless you. Have a good night. We'll see you soon. And follow us everywhere, man. Facebook, Instagram, Discord. Follow us over on Twitch, over on TikTok, on the Strong One, and on Plausible Foolishness. And, of course, the best place you can check out this bad boy is twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. Love you guys. Peace out. Boom.
Boom.
Bye.